Welcome back. This is part 2 of my Batman Arkham Asylum playthrough. We're going to 100% and fully complete it. Happy Halloween to all of those who are celebrating, and let's just get straight into the video. To start, our packed lunch from Alfred wasn't actually a packed lunch. It was a new gadget called the Line Launcher, which is pretty much just a zip line for those of you who don't understand. I'm able to snag this one Riddler trophy before completely leaving the room. However, I'm not able to get this Chronicle of Arkham just yet because I need the Ultra Bat Claw, which is pretty much just the regular Bat Claw, but it can also do the explosive gel capabilities. After that, I meet up with Poison Ivy, who tells us that the plant we need to create the cure for Joker's Titan formula is just, of course, in Killer Croc's lair. Pretty much the most dangerous part of the asylum. Why wouldn't it be? The next thing I did is spend an embarrassing amount of time in this little cave room because I wanted to make sure I got all the Riddler trophies and riddles and Chronicles of Arkham that I possibly could before having to go and collect the rest of them later on. After about 10 minutes, I finally leave that area and get to this nice little Predator encounter that's in the botanical glass house thing. I'm not entirely sure what this area is called, but it's whatever. I spent most of this time just pulling people off ledges because it was pretty easy and they all just stood by ledges. I mean, I'm almost positive that those prisoners are dead because that's a pretty big fall and that guy landed directly on his head, but it's whatever. And remember how Poison Ivy was being pretty tame earlier? Well, not anymore because the Joker decided to inject her with Titan, so now she's on a roid rage. I mean, that's the only real way to describe it. She ended up pooping out these little plant things that shoot spores at you. They don't really cause any threat, but they're pretty annoying. I go out of my way to destroy every single one I see. Not particularly because I have to, you can 100% just avoid them, but destroying them pisses Ivy off, and I found it really amusing. I decided to take the time to make sure I had all these Riddler trophies kind of on this area of the island, which is going to save me a lot of time later on. I run into this group of thugs who are all dressed like the asylum's guards. Now on first glance this seems pretty smart, but then you think about it for a little bit. At this point in the story, the island is all but completely taken over. All guards left are either hiding or dead. So why they decided to go and dress up as them, I don't know, because it's pretty obviously just a bunch of thugs. But you know what? Hats off to them for trying. I reached this next Predator encounter where this time the thugs have mines on the gargoyles. Joker's kind of a jerk and blows this guy up, which sucks for him, I guess. What sucks for us, though, however, is the fact that the gargoyles are really the main hiding spot for you in the Predator encounters. So this whole Predator encounter, you can't really use the gargoyles or else they'll blow up. Despite this, however, I do manage to take all of them out because, you know, I'm Batman. Also, I don't know, there wasn't very many of them in this section. I remember the Predator sections being a lot harder. I don't know why. As I continue on, I do a few more riddles on the way, scanning a portrait of Cash's family, which is kind of creepy when you think about it. I continue my way down, looking for more riddles while also hunting Croc, but then all of a sudden... we're transported back to the start of the game because why the hell not? Things are a little bit different this time, however. Batman's the one being treated by the asylum this time, and just like in Sesame Street, puppets are in charge. I always knew Big Bird had a nefarious agenda, but now there's proof. But just like Jeffrey Epstein, I get killed before anyone can properly be incriminated. Batman ain't no bitch though, so we wake up just heavily influenced by LSD. I end up having to fight some skeletons who were pretty easy to defeat, all things considered. I didn't even really have to fight this big one, it just ran into a wall and exploded. I shined a light on the LSD King, Jonathan Crane himself, and all of a sudden I was free of this terrible trip. After taking the time to do some more collectibles, we headed down to the basement where we can find Crane once again. He starts talking mad shit, but then pretty much immediately gets eaten by Killer Croc. I entered Killer Croc's lair looking for the plants I need to make the Titan cure. However, he keeps jumping out of the water trying to eat me. My mom had taught me at a very young age that it was very rude to eat my house guests. Guess his mom never taught him it. Doesn't really matter though, as I send him to the depths of hell where we can only hope that the rats are gonna eat him alive. Before we do anything helpful, however, it's straight back to doing Riddler trophies and Chronicles of Arkham. I finally managed to collect the Ultra Bat Claw, which is perfect because now I have every gadget I need to get all the Riddler trophies. However, Poison Ivy's stupid plants block off multiple portions of the island which I need to get Riddler trophies from. So I have to go defeat her first. I collect what I can from the sewers, but then I need to go stop Joker's little goons from polluting the water system. Why does Joker want to do that? Because he wants more Banes. Exactly what we all wished for Christmas. After shutting down the water pipes, we get to probably one of the most difficult fights in this entire game. I'll freely admit I died multiple times here. Honestly though, the fight was appreciated as I really needed to get some anger out after these frickin' idiots ruined my trophy collecting. I managed to beat the fight with pretty much one hit remaining and I'm finally able to move on. Because of Poison Ivy, I'm not able to enter any of the other buildings on the island, which means I can't do the Riddler trophies, so I pretty much book it straight there so I can defeat her because I really want to get these Riddler trophies done. My anger seems to power me through as I manage to beat her first try. I blow her up and defeat her stupid plants. With Poison Ivy finally defeated, I'm able to get these Riddler trophies done. I decided to start the grind at the Botanical Gardens because, well, I was already there. Thankfully, at this point of the game, I had already collected most of the Riddler trophies. I just had to get these extra little ones. So the Botanical Gardens was done in probably about 5 minutes. I decided to get what little I had left in the Arkham Mansion, which was all pretty easy. We get this nice little reference to Hugo Strange. I'm sure he won't be any issue later on. Believe it or not, these Joker teeth took me an incredibly long time to find. Once the Arkham Mansion was done, I decided to do the caves and the sewers. Once again, they were pretty easy because I'm a genius. Next was the intensive treatment facility. Once again, pretty easy. I already did most of them. Maxie Zeus was here though, he lost his mind. I found the Riddler's hidey hole, and I noticed one thing. If all these question marks were in red, I'd get it. They'd be made out of blood. But this is clearly green. Which idiot gave him a bunch of green paint? With the intensive treatment done, all that was left was the penitentiary. Or what was left of it. Nothing was really too difficult in the penitentiary. In the first game, most of these riddles are pretty easy. Not easy enough for Quincy Sharp, however, who's losing his mind drawing stuff on the ground. Wonder if that'll come up later. I scanned the riddle for Prometheus, who in my opinion is the biggest wasted potential in the whole of the Arkham series. I then make it to the last Riddler trophy in the last Chronicle of Arkham. Well, second last. But if you're curious what finding these mean, it means we can finally dox the Riddler and get him swatted.
There's no way you could have beaten me. Well, you asked for it, Batman. My final challenge for the whole of Gotham is just seconds away. What? Sirens. The police. You cheated, Batman. You couldn't have outsmarted me. Hey, open up! I said open the door, now! Now! Down on the ground! Down on the ground! No! Tell me, how did you work out where I was? Do you hear me? I, Edward Nigma,
So that was fun. I decided to track down the Chronicle of Arkham, and for those of you who couldn't figure it out, yes, it was Quincy Sharp. Only a detective such as myself could have figured that out, so if you guys didn't, I'm not surprised. After that, it was back to the main story where Joker had a birthday party for me. I immediately terrorized all the guests, beating them all to a pulp. The Joker then gives me this pleasant surprise where it wasn't video therapy this whole time, it was actually in-person therapy. Who could have guessed? He then gives me the amazing gift of an explosion. Upset, I go to confront him about this terrible birthday gift, and he just tells me to go screw myself and throws 2 Titan thugs at me. This fight is actually decently difficult, and I'll admit I did die a handful of times. When I finally do beat it, however, instead of being proud of me, Joker just gets angry and injects me with steroids. Sadly, these steroids only make one arm bigger, so now people are going to be thinking I'm up to nefarious things all the time. Wanting to match, I guess, Joker takes the steroids himself, and now he's a big, ugly giant. Anyone who played this game will know that despite this being the final boss battle, this fight isn't really difficult as much as it is just annoying. While I don't mind it as much as a lot of other people do, I do agree something better should have been placed here. The fight also gives us this great ending where we get to punch Joker square in the jaw, because why not? With the Joker down, control over the island is finally restored because I guess that's what they needed. I'd probably invest in a better place to keep all these criminals. There's definitely some glaring problems, like the fact Quincy Sharp is still on the run and is now going to be a mayor, but who cares? Bane's alive though, in case any of you were worried about him. I know I don't seem very enthusiastic, but these are great games and absolutely amazing stories. If you like Batman, or even if you just want a fun game series to try out, definitely try the Arkham series. The next one I'll play will be the most controversial of the series, which is Arkham Origins. Hope you guys will enjoy that one. I have no idea when I'll start doing it. With all that being said, I hope everyone has a great day, and goodbye.